Hello, welcome back to today's video. So happy to have you here. I am Ellie Brown from Uptown with Ellie Brown, and we talk all things fashion, beauty, lifestyle, you name it. And today I thought it would be fun for us just to sit down and have a little chit chat. Without making the intro always long, let's just jump straight into today's questions and let's get to know me a little bit, shall we?
Basic introductory about Ellie Brown. What can you tell us about yourself?
About like Uptown with Ellie Brown or Ellie Brown?
The person behind Uptown with Ellie Brown.
Ellie Brown.
Brown herself.
Ellie Brown herself. Ooh, that's $1 million question.
Yeah.
A little bit about me. Okay, so I am 34. I was gonna say 35. Let me not add an age to myself. 34, born in Brazil. I have lived in Connecticut and then moved to Houston. And yeah, so mom of 4, I've got 3 boys and a girl. Been married for 16 years. Got married very young, and yeah.
Awesome. What do you remember most about living in Brazil?
It'll probably be riding the bus alone. It's a completely different culture down there in Brazil. It's not like it is here. I remember I was at the time involved at the church also, and we had a dance ministry, did that a lot. And it was it's such a critical age at that time, like, 11, 12, and then moving from Brazil. I remember crying my eyes out, like boarding and like the plane taking off, and I'm just like full on tears because I didn't want to leave. It's interesting also now as an adult to look at that, like look at those years and how it's affected and who I am today. And I don't want to say that I blame my parents for any of that, because at the time they did what they had to do, but it's just interesting how those monumental changes make such an impact.
How would you describe your job?
I've since recently created an elevator pitch. So let me read it to you. I empower women to embrace their unique style, help them unlock their confidence, and express their individuality through personalized style transformation so they not only look stunning, but feel it too. I've got to fine tune it a little bit, make it a little bit more me, but I think it's such an interesting industry I'm in. I've always hated the term influencer because I feel like it becomes cringe, although I think we all have influence. I've been creating content and been an influencer, I guess, for the last 10 years, I think. I guess influencer, sure. I just don't, that word makes me cringe sometimes.
What is your definition of an influencer then?
What is my definition of an influencer? See, when I think about influence, I think about real influence. I think it is very superficial, obviously being able to sell clothes and makeup and, sharing your lifestyle. When I think about the term influence, I think the positivity of being able to change something for the good. When you influence somebody, there's different ways to influence somebody, right? So that would be my definition.
What made you venture into styling in the first place?
Oh, that's a good question. So I've always wanted to be a designer. And maybe that's something that, can happen down the line, but I've always wanted to be a designer. So the beauty of fashion for me, just texture and fashion shows and how people wore things and just the art of it was always something that I have loved. Always loved getting ready, always had way too many shoes. It was just something that do you remember Shoe Dazzle? I used to have a membership for Shoe Dazzle, and I would get like 4 or 5 pairs every month. Like, the clubbing days with the heels and stilettos, that was, I loved all that. And so I've always loved the fashion in itself. And so when I started creating content and blogging, I never took pictures of myself. It was just kind of sharing finds and stuff, and eventually it morphed into what it is now. And I've always in the back of my mind have always wanted to create some sort of styling guide online, maybe a PDF or something. There was something, always an itch to do that, which is one of the reasons why I, at the time, a couple of years ago, created the Build Your Own Wardrobe Hub on the website. The way it just came about and it morphed into this, it was just one of those moments where like, like, oh my gosh, yes. I don't know why I've never thought about this. It was just one of those things where a friend reached out and she's like, hey, I know somebody who has a styling program. You should totally do it. Like, that is right up your alley. But I don't think I've ever been so hungry for the opportunity to like do the work and to like really go for it than this. And it's one of those things where it's like, when you look good, you feel good, and when you feel good, you do good. It doesn't feel forced. I'm not having to like open the doors and force my way through. It felt right in so many ways. And so here we are.
We have 8 minutes left on this card, or 9 minutes left on this card.
Oh, okay. We should do rapid fire then, maybe.
Yeah. If you had one word for the Instagram algorithm, what would it be?
Mother.
What are you currently watching?
I'm waiting for Bridgerton to come out.
Okay.
The new season 3.
Who is your current style icon?
Olivia Palmero. Love her. I've always loved her. Some of her street style, like when you search her Pinterest street style images, there's just the way she pairs things. There's this elegance. There's this easiness about her. Always so good.
One thing in fashion you wish you saw more of?
I wish that people were, I mean, I get trends. Obviously trends will come and go and things change all the time. And I don't think I'm super duper trendy. I like to get into trends, but when I think about buying trends, I like to stay true to myself. I wish there was more of that, maybe more intentionality with how people are getting dressed in a way that really speaks to them, and it not just because it's something popular.
Yeah. What is one way you keep your marriage young and fun?
I mean, do we keep it PG? No. No, I think we both enjoy each other's company. I like to say that he's my best friend, my BFF. I mean, really, at the end of the day, have fun with each other. I think we both do a good job at serving each other. And I think, with life, it kind of ebbs and flows, and it just kind of, you give and you take, and it just kind of, does this. And we just like to have fun in this silly moments. And like the other day, he loves to scare me, and it drives me insane. And I was doing the dishes also at the same time, so I literally just sprayed him. So we're just constantly doing little things like that. Just kind of keeps it fun and just interesting, and we're just always goofing around.
What is your current favorite platform to post on right now?
Well, indirect is Instagram because I built a community on Instagram, but I really like posting on TikTok just because I think there's a lot more. Maybe that's why I've seen so much growth with TikTok versus Instagram. I feel like Instagram is just has to be very thought out. And TikTok, I don't really. It's just kind of, do I plan content for it? Yes, but there's just this easiness of TikTok.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Where do I see myself in 5 years? I've never been the one to plan like 5-10 years. I know that sounds bad, and it's not because I'm not a planner, because I am. I'm a very like routine and schedule person. I've always been the type where like, if it's meant for me, it's gonna happen. Like, I know that day in, day out, I will do the work and do what I need to do. I would love to, kids-wise, family-wise, I'm gonna be busy with that, but work-wise specifically, I would really love to have the styling really be, at that point, have already taken off and be doing that full time.
What is something you are looking forward to doing this year?
I'm really looking forward to vacation, to summer. Jordan's actually turning 40 this year, so we're gonna have a birthday party for him later this year in Miami. So I'm excited about that. That's later this year. I am looking forward to that. This summer, we're planning like little weekend trips to just drive, just to visit some towns, or, like go to Dallas or go to San Antonio and just like take these, not just a day trip, but just like little weekend trips, roast out in the sun and just develop my tan. Well, that concludes our chit chat. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you got to know a little bit more about me. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Would love to hear from you. If you had any other burning questions, let me know down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and then hit that little bell so you can get notified when the next video goes live. I will see you soon, and I hope you have a good one.